Hey everybody, welcome to my life. And as well as episode 5 of Comic Chats. So, why am I doing 2 episodes in one? Consistency. And because, I had a very busy day off today. I literally left the house, I think, at 11 a.m. and I didn't get back till almost 5 p.m. So, I had a very fun-filled day. A lot of big news in several aspects of the world, but I felt like I needed to just kind of touch base and just kind of apologize because I know that people wanted me to go live earlier and had missed it. So, for those of you that catch it, hey Jacob. So before I even continue, folks, my boy here, Jacob, is less than 4 or 5 subscribers to getting 1K. Can we help a brother get there? Please, if you have not, like, subscribe, get on his channel, get him those 4 or 5 subs he needs to get him to cross those finish line. All right, I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, it's been like a just a crazy day. I had to go yesterday. Just a little home stuff, I guess, to for lack of a better way of putting it. Um, I was I was off. I took off yesterday because my teenage daughter was sick, and then knowing that she was sick, I was like, well, all right, you know, sucks. She's sick, but then I knew I had to go to the doctor for a physical, my annual physical, which went fine. Much like I told my brother, it was like doing the check engine light didn't come on. I just knew it was time for my registration to be up. So, oh, you're gonna get it, bro. And I'm super excited for you. So I got that done, and then I had to go to the dermatologist. But then, while I was at the doctor, they were like, I had already taken the day off because I knew I had other appointments. Well, my dermatologist was like, "No, I got to cancel. You're gonna have to go tomorrow," which is my other day, my actual day off. So I was like, oh, "All right, well, whatever." So I get up, go to the dermatologist. I had to go to the bank. I had to, go to the comic book store, run some errands. Suffice it to say, it's been a very long, very crazy day. I didn't get like 2 things done I wanted to get done, but neither here nor there. Um, I'm just excited. There's a lot of good stuff going on in the world. A lot of bad, but let's look at the good. Um, I've noticed a lot of people have been talking about the death of toy hunting, and YouTubers are pretty much taking their channels down or leaving because there's just no love for the hobby anymore. And I agree to a huge extent that we are, I think, in the advent of this time where we're not planning to see. I don't think we're going to see as many toy hunters because of what we saw during COVID, what we saw during, you know, it wasn't just COVID, just like everything during the pandemic era. You saw this huge, hey, EC, what's good? I will be doing an unboxing on my channel of one of 2 unboxings because of my boy here. So be ready and stay tuned for that. Um, but yeah, like I think that the era of the toy hunter is over. You know, I think we're at a point now where it's you have 2 people: the people that go on the hunt and the people that just are like me that are just like, fuck the hunts. You can just order it offline. It's not like out of sheer laziness or anything like that. It's just I don't care to hunt the love and desire of hunting is just not in me anymore. I think that there's a interest level that waned very far to the point that I was almost questioning collecting still. And I follow a couple of interesting YouTubers that are like rant YouTubers, and one of them he went off on this very good rant about just like the end of like collecting and what's going on and like, you know, and I know that Yukon Phil and I will talk about this when I'm on his channel next week, um, amongst wrestling and several other topics. But there's a, it just seems to me, yeah, I mean, gas prices alone, dude. Like y'all out there are how much are you paying out there now? I'm just curious because my brother told me New York was like 5.25 a gallon, and that was ridiculous. You know, here we're at like 3.19, I think it was, or 3.09, depending on where you go. Certain areas, it's like 3.09 to 3.18 or 3.19. It's like a 10-cent difference. So you know, there's you got to take into account inflation is kicked in. You have people that are just not the stuff is not available. Exactly. You see, just living in Cali is killing you. You know, I think a lot of people have realized that it's just the lack of having disposable income to collect is is what's stopping people from like doing this hobby more because with the rising prices and everything else, it's ridiculous. Um, you know, I want to. This is like a topic I know that people have been wanting me to talk about for a while. I think I'm gonna talk to Dave and we'll do something like a collab with it on our channels. Hey, Blue. But yeah, it's kind of like I don't know. Like I'm just not at a point where I want to even you know I like what I collect and I don't need more than that. You know, I don't need to go have like I was thinking about what a lot of the YouTubers' common thread was, which was, and I want to mention this because EC had collecting with Cool on his channel last night on their podcast, F and on the F and Figs podcast, and he was saying it. People bought a lot of their YouTube, did a lot of YouTube because they were buying stuff for content sake, and I'm not like I don't care to buy stuff for content. I don't care to I don't go and say, "Oh, I need to get that item for content." No, 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 no. I go, "Does it fit my collection?" Yes. Okay, then it belongs in my collection. If it doesn't fit what I collect, it can stay on the shelf. It looks nice, or I can see my friends have it and I can look at their stuff and live vicariously through them. I don't plan to like just go buy stuff for content's sake because I think that that's asinine. You know, one, I don't have the I mean, I do make good money. My wife makes good money, but we'd rather use our money to do other things. You know, when I see YouTubers that are like, "Oh man, did you see I got the latest thing and it was so effing cool, man. Like I got this and I gotta do it and I gotta have content." And 2 weeks later, yo man, I'm selling this on my Facebook or my Instagram. Yo, you can get this for $50, shipping included. Like, really? Is this where we're at now? Yeah, I only buy what I want. Problem is, I want to. Yeah, I know, but I see you're at a place, Cobb, and I'm gonna shout you out in a positive way. You're at a place like that's very unique to a lot of that a lot of collectors aren't at. You know, there's some collectors that are still so new to collecting that they just buy everything, and you're like unique in that regard because you're like you really only collect Motu. You know, which is fine. You know, Motu's good, but I think it's. Oh, why am I put my water bottle all the way over there? But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool that if you buy Motu and like you branch slightly out, but everybody knows you as a Motu guy and now a Mythic Legions guy. You know, me, I felt like I didn't know what I was doing with my channel for a long time. And then now, these last couple of months, or I would even say now, I enjoy where I'm at. Like, I'm at that happy medium of like, I collect Spider Man and I've been migrating even away from Marvel Legends. And I'll show you some of the pickups. That's where you guys can see some of the cool stuff. Um, and completionists are dangerous, Blue. That's another thing too. Like you got guys that are like, oh, or girls. I'm not gonna say this hobby doesn't have them. We have guys, girls, and people that identify as anything that when they collect, they're like, I have to have every single one of these, and I'm not. I was at the beginning, like I was a completionist for Spider-Man, and then I eventually said, you know what? Nope, 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 nope. Because then eventually some of those figures spiked in price to the point that it was just like it was almost unrealistic for me to be like, how am I going to afford to complete my Spider-Man collection 4 figures away from completing it, but they're going to cost me almost like $500. No, for 4 pieces of plastic, no, no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need those 4 pieces of plastic. So, there's opportunity. There's chances. And of course when I need to have my phone readily available, my wife texted me. So pardon what while I'm on the stream. So that's like one of the things I feel like a lot of people were, I guess in a sense, you know, that's where a lot of people were at. Like being a completionist. Oh, I need to have this. I like Seth. I'll give you guys an example. Seth, he's a good collector. He collects CM Punk. He likes wrestling, but he buys CM Punk stuff. Like that's his primary thing. You know, Unlike someone like Big Dub, who I've had both Seth on this channel. I've had Big Dub on this channel. And one of the things I've learned from just watching their channels is like Big Dub, he rolls like that. His wife collects, his daughter collects, he collects, and he likes to buy a lot of stuff. And they mingle their collections, and that's cool. Seth, he collects. His wife doesn't collect. His sons are kids still, so they don't. His son, when he has a teenager, and then he has a younger one, and I'm like, okay, they don't. They collect a little bit, but like they're not collectors like Seth is. And then everybody knows what Seth collects because we watch his videos. So I think I've reached a point where I'm just like, I'm not gonna just like run out and buy something or get something to have it. I've never been that guy. I was that guy when I first started doing. I was like, oh, I gotta get all those Funko Pops, and I gotta get this, and I gotta get that, and blah, blah. I had to jump on Marvel Legends, and I would pay through the nose. And what was I paying for? Hey, Tiger, what's good? Yeah, just let me drink some Starbucks. But yeah, like a lot of the times we see people make those jumps, and they have this desire to have all this stuff, and then they'll get rid of it. You know, I admire the Star Wars collectors. I admire the toy collectors that stay within the genre that they love. And if you choose to branch out, like much like our boy Jacob says, like Cobb says, you branch out a little bit, but you stay in the same genre. You know, I hate when people are like, "Well, I collect amiibos and I collect game consoles. Well, I collect comic books," and then you're like, "I'm selling off my collection." Do what you want. I mean, you're a grown ass adult. I don't care. But mind you, I caught this new Instagrammer, and he said something extremely cool. If you're a new collector, stay in your lane. And he didn't say it in a mean way. He explained it. He's like, stay in your lane with the things. If you found a genre, a type of figure you're into, and stay in that lane for a little while. If you choose to branch out, branch out. But don't branch out if, hey Rex, it's good to see you, brother. Kick ass Enoch that you did, by the way. Shout out to my boy Millennium. Did an awesome job on that Enoch 1/6 scale statuette. We'll call it a statuette. Because the figure actually moves. So, I noticed myself. I'm kind of the collector that's narrowed down. I know what I like. I collect what I like, and I really don't care two diddly squats what other people care about that I collect. If I don't post a video of oh, look at the latest thing I grabbed, who gives a shit? It's suddenly like everybody passes judgment. I know we put ourselves out on YouTube and we are you know not trying to, dude, your work is amazing, Millennial. I'm gonna take a second. You should be praised for the good work you do. Like I said, it kicks ass. But enough negative. You know, I just think collect what you love and stop. If you don't want to put it out there, don't make a YouTube channel because then you open yourself up to criticism. You know, the space is big enough for everybody to play in. So if you don't like it, don't do it. Now, I did have some things come in this week. I got comic books to show. I have some figures and some manga. So let's start with the manga because it's the closest by. All right, so these came in for you guys and girls. This is Free Rien. This is actually currently an anime that's running, Beyond Journey's End. So it's very fantasy. So Cobb, you would be totally into this. It's actually a really good series. This is manga number 10. I'm covering it. Excuse me, covering it up. And then I got this. This is book number 1 of the series, and it says, for me, it says, "Smoking behind the supermarket with you." It is the story. When I read the snip, like the synopsis online, it piqued my interest. So like the salary man who's like 30 years old meets like the 18-year-old like 7-Eleven girl, or in Japanese the kombini girl. And when he meets her, they have this mutual enjoyment to smoke cigarettes and they talk about life and stuff. And it's kind of like their slice of life manga. They talk about life and what they go through and their odd budding relationship, friendship. It's interesting. Now, some of the figures. This was like a must. Y'all know me and my Mayfex. We hawk Mayfex on this channel. We hawk imports on this channel. Soft goods gambit. Folks, if you could make a Marvel Legend that articulates as good as this, with this many accessories, this figure used to retail because it was a re-release. This is the version 2. Version 1 of this figure went for like $300. I caught it on a reissue for like 80. Thank you, Jesus. I've been wanting to rebuild up my X-Men. It's a dope looking figure. Cloth good with wires in it. Cannot wait to review this bad boy. Now, for those of you that are in our group chat, I've shown this, but this was a daily sale 2 weeks ago for Big Bad Toy Store. This was the Mayfex Wolverine. Now, this one does not come with nearly as much accessories, but those head sculpts, though, 3 head sculpts in the X-Force garb. And the same day this went on sale, he went on sale. So I got both of them. These were 55% off when they went up. And when Mayfexes drop below $100 and they drop below $75, they drop to like $50. That's what you get. Because these are still version 1s of each of these figures. These are not reissues. So I cannot wait to do their review on these. I've been kind of peeping this Wolverine for a minute and this Deadpool on Amazon. They've been sitting in my wish list. Deleted them once I found them for way under what Amazon was selling them for. Now, thank you, Tiger. I appreciate that. For those of you that know, I am a huge fan of Kamen Rider, Sentai. Power Rangers is Sentai in Japan, but if you want Power Ranger news, go to Legacy and Earth. You want Kamen Rider news, you come see your boy Dre. And this is the Kurogane Supra Henshin driver. Now, what this is a driver from the main villain, which is who's actually I think a good guy in disguise. Personally speaking, he's actually one of the alchemists in the show. One of the guys that likes the main character's daughter, or not the main character's daughter, but he likes the mentor's daughter, who is like I think she's awesome. So his driver comes with two cards, the two Chemi cards, and he puts them in the thing, and it makes sounds and it's transformation. But you can't get these cards only if you buy this, or if you purchase the booster boxes of the Japanese Chemi cards, which are all random and they're like $18 a pack. They're hard as hell to find. They sell out all the time. So I have a friend of mine in Japan trying to track them down for me because they're like really like $6, which is like not really six. They're like 600 yen, which is about $4 a pack, and you get like 7 or 8 cards. You get 8 cards in the pack. So I was like, that's not bad. But I forgot I pre-ordered it. This is the Gotchard driver. So this is the actual transformation belt. So this is one of the forms, the samurai form. Well, no, this is the base form of Gotchard. This is the samurai form. You get these 2 cards. They get the hopper and the Densha, the train. And then supposedly you get a couple more cards in here. But they do show you like there's like 100 Chemi cards. So there's like a bunch of ways to get them. Some of them were gifted only as movie tickets for Gates, which is like $25 to get them through CD Japan. But this driver is dope. I just got batteries today to actually test it. But you put the cards in and it mixes them and it makes sounds, it lights up. I'm going to do a whole review on this thing and show actually how it looks. Now, this is actually the DX version of this, which means that this is the adult version. Now, the kids version is the regular version. It's a little cheaper. It's like $60. This is like 100, but the reason it's 100 is because this comes with an added adult belt strap. So, like, it's meant for adults. Now, mind you, it won't probably fit a big boy like me, but we will try. Because I did it before, and I'm going to start collecting these again, little by little. Gotchard is the current series running in Japan, and I wanted to get this. And like I said, Amazon had the kids version, but it didn't come with like some. It didn't come with a lot, but I got this. So now, comic books, because it is comic book day, and I did say it's a comic chat, so can't be a comic chat without comics. And today, boy, was it. I swear, sometimes I hope, I pray, I'm like, hey, can it be a light one? A light month? Or a light day? But this is actually a good one. So this is the variant cover for Kong Godzilla vs. the Justice League, issue number 5. I totally love the old school artwork, like the 70s style artwork on this. It looks really cool. The story is solid. Like basically Godzilla almost killed Superman with his radiation blast, and like it was a doozy. This is actually a good series. If you guys are reading anything by Jeff Lemire, this is Tenant, and this is an ongoing anthology series of like this building called Tenement. I call it Tenant. It's called Tenement. It's based like in a building that like all the souls are kind of damned, and it's like there are like mini horror stories, and it's part of this series, the Mythos series that he started. Very solid. Love this stuff. Then there is a giant sized issue for Firepower. This is Robert Kirkman. Supposedly, 2 years ago, he had said that we were getting this as a live action. I hope we do, because this would be dope as fuck. Love this book. Imagine if dragons were real, martial artists tap into their power. There's a cult that's trying to like kill the dragons. There's people that are protecting them that use their powers that can fire Hadoukens. Now, this is IDW's first issue of this. This is called Godzilla Rivals, and the first issue is Mothra. Like I said, IDW does cool. EC, trust me, dude. Firepower is dope. I've been reading it now for 3 years, and I love it. It took like a 7-8 month hiatus, and I started reading it during the pandemic. This is issue number 2 of Hellblazer: Dead in America. Pardon me. This is Constantine has died or was killed, and he's now like a walking zombie, and he's trying to escape death in America. Love Hellblazer. Love the Sandman universe. This takes place in it. A must read if you are a John Constantine Hellblazer fan. And that's issue number 2. This is Captain Marvel number 5. This is for my wife. She reads Captain Marvel. I love the artwork. I just am not into the book, but it's for her. This actually, EC. This is for you. This is Alien, black, white, and red. So this is a black and white comic where the only color is red. And this is an alternate alien story that they started with. So this is the first issue. The black, white, and red series is awesome. I've read it for Deadpool. I've read it for Wolverine. I've read it for Predator. It, I read it for. I'm currently reading it for Moon Knight. This is awesome. This is the first issue that came out today. This is Daredevil issue number 6. Now there's two runs. There are 3 current runs of Daredevil. This is the Matt Murdock storyline. There is the Black Armor Matt Murdock storyline, and then there is the Gang War crossover with Elektra as Daredevil. So just to give you guys, I read all 3 of them. So this is the one that came out this week. This is the new one, and it's a Spider-Man thing, so you know how to get it. This is Edge of the Spider-Verse, issue number 1, and it's a Weapon 8. So imagine if when they made the Weapon X program, that weapon number 8 was actually a hybrid spider mutant. Cannot wait to read this. There was no variant covers. There was incentive covers. Incentive covers cost a lot. They're like $25 up. And no. This is the 5th issue of the Marvel Gods series. So this is currently a storyline that's trying to tie the Eternals, Marvel's current storyline, and their other universe together. It's actually interesting. It's a very adult read. So it's a good book. Just an adult read. This is the Incredible Hulk, the new line, issue number 9. Now, for anybody that's reading this, this is actually the Hulk, more savage, Bruce Banner, kind of the old school TV show, like the Lou Ferrigno TV show, but in comic book form. It's actually pretty cool. Bruce Banner's walking around. It's more of like the Hulk not just being savage, but being intelligent. It's a solo series. It's good. It's a classic art style. This is the Gang War tie-in for Luke Cage's individual issue with our boy Peter Parker, Spider-Man from Earth Prime. Colin, another book for you, my friend. Predator: The Last Hunt. So this apparently is the final volume of the current Predator run that they've done in Marvel, which has been solid, solid book series. Love it. So this is the first issue. I know you like this, Colin. This is the artwork in this is fantastic. It is a kick-ass story. I think people need to be reading it. You know, the female that decide that her parents were killed by a predator, and they're now the story's been circling around her hunting the predators, and the predators know that she exists, and they're trying to counter hunt her. But it's dope. This just came out today. Sentry, Marvel's Superman. This is issue number 3. Yeah, this is the third issue. It's a slow burn for me. I issue 1 was okay. Issue 2 is if by issue 3 I'm not liking it, I'm gonna pull the trigger and not read it anymore. This is the 4th issue of Spider Boy. Miles Morales gracing the cover. Spider Boy was introduced in Amazing Spider-Man number 9 on the cover. It's like one of the key issues. If you're a fan of key issues, that's the book to get. Obviously for your collection to slab it, but this is the current run. It's up to issue 4. It's a good series, especially if you're a fan of Spider-Man. Another Spider book, Spider Woman, issue number. This would be 4, right? Yep. Issue number 4 in the Gang War. Now, Gang War is actually starting to wind down because we just found out in the individual issues of oh god, what's his name of Miles Morales in his next issue, issue 17 of Miles Morales, and issue number Amazing Spider-Man. They're like, it's bad. Like the heroes got their butts handed to them during Gang War, and they're trying to all catch, like take a break and like take a beat to figure things out. There's still more. I'm just gonna take a sip of water. Millennium, do I have any slabs? No, I would. Are there slabs I would like? Yes, there are currently 4 slabs I have my eye on that I would like to get. Spider Gwen number 1 by Robbie Rodriguez, at least a 9.0. I know the 9.8 is like ridiculously expensive, but I'd be willing to take a 9.0 of any of the variant covers. The most expensive slab I want, which is the Miles Morales first appearance, which a lot of people know it's the Ultimate Comics. It's had so much controversy behind it. That's like the most expensive book to get. It's like a $500 book. When it comes down in price a little bit, maybe I would get it. But that's like the second slab I want. Third slab I want is I would like to have the very first Ultimate Comics where Miles graced the cover, which I'm still trying to research that one. And then the last one, wow. Yeah, I mean I can get it slabbed myself. I mean, I might just do that myself, but so much stuff has been going on with CGC. If you don't know the controversy with that, where people were sending books in and a husband and wife were swapping books for lesser grades and lying about it. So I'm more like if I see the slab, my local shop knows the owner of the shop knows me, and he knows a couple of the slabs I'm looking for, and he's willing to give me a deal. So, and I know his is legit because he knows who he buys. I know who he buys from because he buys from a lot of local collectors that are very meticulous with their collections. So this is probably going to be the book of the week in many people's opinions. It's probably going to be book of the year. Ultimate Spider-Man number 2. I'm gonna slab Ultimate. I'm definitely gonna slab Ultimate Spider-Man number 1 once I finish reading it. This book is amazing. Adult Spider-Man. Peter Parker getting his powers as an adult, not as a kid, and his life as with his kids and his wife, and it's just such a damn good book. Black Panther is definitely teetering on probably equal footing, but then I know X-Men's coming out next week, and I can't wait to see Ultimate X-Men because that's going to be Peach Momoko, so it's very anime style. So I'm looking forward to reading that book as well. And last and certainly not least is Frank Miller's Ronin Book 2. Now, this isn't Book 2, this is Series 2, the final issue. This is issue 7, if I'm not mistaken. This Ronin series, for anybody that likes Frank Miller's art, that love 300, or if you guys like Sin City, imagine that with Ninja and Samurai. It's just that amazing. Like I wish I can get more of the glossy covers, but since the he took like a 6 month hiatus, and he came back, and the covers all went to these matte covers, which are nice. I wish he did the glossy covers because they're beautiful. So that's the pickups for comic books this week. My stack is pretty high. I've been trying to catch up on reading my comics. It's tough. I sent in a Fan of Menace with Darth Maul on the cover uh, for the comic shop, and one came back 9.8. Yeah, Dark Horse did a lot of good stuff, and now Marvel, since they've been buying all the Dark Horse license, you'd be surprised what you'd find nowadays. But see, I'm at the point now where if I'm gonna slab something, it's gotta be fitting in with the motif of what I collect. Like, see, I know you would do Star Wars, and actually, that Mace Windu issue number one, getting any of those variant covers slabbed would look really dope in a Star Wars collection, especially if you get lightsabers. So imagine getting like the High Republic, and getting one of those lightsabers made, and having that issue slabbed, and then having like Obi-Wan or Darth Vader, Darth Maul, and having their lightsabers. Like, to me, that's the image I would have as a cool collection to like show off. Now, mind you, I'm not a Star Wars collector. I'm a Star Wars fan, not a collector. I do buy lightsabers when I do return to Disney. I will probably buy another Cal Kestis lightsaber. I'm not gonna lie about that. Probably gonna get another Cal Kestis. If not, I'm gonna get a Mace Windu because Mace Windu is my dude. Love me some Mace Windu. Um, because look at my ring, my wedding ring, purple and black, the Enzo Mace Windu ring. So I think I will show off what I got Rory because I know people are gonna laugh. So Rory, y'all know Peanut loves her Elmo. So Target had this last one. It was Elmo riding a tricycle flocked. It's for Target Con. Folks, if you guys can find another one for me, I'd really appreciate it. I'll PayPal you if you find it. She broke it. It was $30. Somebody find me another one, please. Because all my Targets are sold out. So if you see another one, DM me. It's for my 3.5-year-old. She loves Elmo. There's no more in the area. We don't have any super glue. I'll buy some super glue. But in case of if anybody does see this, pick me up another one. It's for my little girl. Y'all love Peanut. She's actually chilling with my wife right now. But that little girl, she's like she's like my co-host on the private shows when I do the lives myself. So I appreciate you, Colin. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else really that's going on. Um, I could talk wrestling. I'm gonna be actually I will be at AEW's Revolution next week Sunday. I'll be live at the pay-per-view here in Greensboro, North Carolina. My best friend Chris and I are going to be going. I took the day off from work already, so I will not be on Fortnite like I usually get on, but I will be at the pay-per-view. So I'll be recording some stuff like that and dropping some videos and dropping some images on my Instagram and probably on my personal Facebook. Um, and then we dropped our trip to GalaxyCon. It became too much money for what we wanted to do, and we're gonna just go to GalaxyCon Raleigh because it gives a little bit more time to save up for it and plan for it, and we don't have to worry about my other daughter coming back from DC. So there's a little bit of opportunity that we're going to take to relax and just kind of enjoy. And I'm going to go. I took the day off that Friday still because my wife and I are going to go to IKEA to look at some bookshelves for the house because I promised my wife that we get at least one or two new bookshelves because she likes these sturdy hardwood IKEA ones, and we're going to look for one. And that's about it. Is there? Do you guys have any questions, comments, feedback, collaborations, desires? I'm here. Ask away. And you don't have to super chat me to ask a question. I know I'm poking the bear by saying that, but I love ask questions. I would never charge anybody. It's a platform for fun. Why am I going to charge you? So ask away. I did like that question that Rex asked me that Millennium said. Like I didn't know Rex you were into collecting slabs either. So that's pretty cool. Come on, and besides, y'all know me. I poke the bear all the time. Dave and I do that. That's what we do. Stores are dry now. I'm gonna tell you that. I will say that much out loud. Stores are dry. I was surprised to find that on the shelf today. Oh yeah, Colin, you know. Oh brother, I love you, man. That was the best. Poke away. Who doesn't like buying stuff you can't use? I mean, like, see, that's the one thing. It's like I was always turned off from buying slabs because I felt like slabs was like a useless thing. Like, I want to read the comic. And I'm seeing people break the slab to read the book. And I'm like, but you paid $75 to get that thing graded and put in there so you can't. But I saw dudes like smash them because they wanted to read the book. And I'm just like, just buy like a second reprint or a third reprint because some books do have that. But why? It boggles my brain. And I only poke fun because I think it's silly. In all, we're grown as adults. You spend your money where you want to spend your money, but you're gonna spend your money to ask a fucking question. Like I'm a school teacher for 17 fucking years, retired now. You think I'm gonna fucking go and say, "Hey, can I ask you a question? Here's I need money. Give me $1." No, fuck you. I'm gonna ask a question. It's free. It's so stupid. I know it sounds stupid me saying that, folks, and I'm complaining about it, but it bothers my brain. Like some part of me, my soul died. If that makes sense. Oh, I will answer this. People have asked me when are we going to see another episode of what's going on with the podcast with Outer Dimensions. Dave and I just had again. It's it's not you guys. It's totally me and Dave's schedules are out of sync. We're going to try to sync up this week. Film 2 more episodes, and then I actually have been trying to get every one of the Oscar movies. I'm missing two. I'm missing two of the movies to watch. And once I have them all, Dave and I were gonna sit and watch all the Oscar movies and rate them ourselves and like see why because there was like 9 movies nominated for best film this year, 2 of which were foreign. So in case you guys didn't know, you know it, Colin. But yeah, one of the things I've kind of been interested in doing was rating those movies because I saw the Barbie movie. I've watched Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was fucking fantastic. Um, let me see the list. I'll read you guys the list of Oscar films that were nominated for Best Picture. So you have The Holdovers, American Fiction, The Zone of Interest, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Past Lives, Anatomy of a Fall, Maestro, Killers of the Flower Moon. Now, who do I think is going to win it? Oppenheimer. Nolan's gotten like a crap ton. Got 13 nominations. And yes, Oppenheimer was great. Robert Downey's going to win Best Supporting. Um, am I sad about the Margot Robbie getting snubbed by the Oscars? No. Am I sad that Greta Gerwig is snubbed for not being in the? Do you realize the caliber of directors that are in the pool for Best Director this year? Martin Scorsese, Christopher Nolan. Exactly. No movie is going to come close to touching it. Like, look at this, the Best Directors. I'm going to read Best Directors to you. Best Directors. Juliette Triet, Anatomy of a Fall. Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon. Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things. Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. And Jonathan Glazer, The Zone of Interest. I mean, Scorsese and Nolan. Nolan, Batman. Nolan. I mean, the Batman trilogy. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Tenet. Dunkirk. Why am I know I'm missing some key movies that were actually, Inception. Yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon, I'm thinking is going to be the only true competition for Oppenheimer in the live action category, solely because DiCaprio killed it, and so did De Niro. I have only watched parts of that movie, and I think that movie's freaking awesome. So, I'm thinking that it's going to be a tie between those two films, and then of course in the Best Actor category, you know, Giamatti for The Holdovers, Bradley Cooper, Maestro, uh, Coleman Domingo. Which, if we all know who Coleman Domingo is, that's our dude that was in Fear the Walking Dead. He's in Rustin, which is which is another movie I have to watch. Cillian Murphy and Jeffrey Wright. Now, obviously, who do I think is going to win it in those two? Jeffrey Wright or Cillian Murphy? Jeffrey Wright's done amazing stuff. I love him in everything he does. And then you have, because American Fiction looks really good, and that was nominated for Best Film as well. And then you have Cillian Murphy, who I think is an unsung hero and needs to get the Oscar nod. I think it's his time. Jeffrey Wright, and I know people of color are going to hate me for saying this because I'm a person of color saying this. I want Jeffrey Wright to win, but he probably is not going to win. And that's the sad part. That is the sad part. So, but then you have Best Actress. And what was the Best Actress? Let me see. Emma Stone, Poor Things, Lily Gladstone, Annette Bening for Nyad, Carey Mulligan, and Sandra Hüller. Now, obviously, who do I think who's gonna probably walk away with this one? Emma Stone. Emma Stone's gonna walk away with it. Cillian Murphy, exactly. Peaky Blinders. From Peaky Blinders to the Batman films to Inception. He's everything Nolan touches, Murphy has a hand in it. He was in Dunkirk. If you saw Dunkirk, folks, amazing movie. I own that on Blu-ray. Love it. Emma Stone's gonna take. Mark Ruffalo didn't even get. I think he's Best Supporting, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at the Best Supporting Actor. As Best Director, Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, Ruffalo. I mean, just folks. Let's just put it this way. When you listen to the people that are nominated for Best Supporting, you're kind of like, oh my God. Mark Ruffalo, Robert De Niro, Robert Downey Jr., Sterling Brown, and Ryan Gosling. And then America Ferrera. I think America Ferrera is probably going to not. America Ferrera should win it. I'm not gonna lie. The Latina should walk away with it. She's not. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Emily Blunt is gonna probably walk away with it for Oppenheimer, but Jodie Foster could walk away with it for Nyad because she was in that with Annette Bening. I mean, you got so many. Like, I'm not even gonna like Danielle Brooks could probably do it for The Color Purple, but we'll see. And then they got Best Documentary. I'm not gonna even go into that. But already, Best Visual Effects, Godzilla -1, Napoleon. Napoleon wasn't even nominated. Can you guys believe that? Napoleon wasn't nominated for Best Film. And that looked amazing. And that was Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott didn't even get a nomination. Like that's crazy. That's just crazy to me. But I can go on a rant on this for like hours because I love movie talking. It's like I said, I'm a big cinephile, and when I see movies that I'm like that need to be nominated, I'm just surprised they're not. That's one. That was one. Napoleon is good. It's really good. I was very, very pleasantly surprised. I'm waiting for them to put the Blu-ray out to get that. But again, it's getting harder and harder to find your physical media. So I agree with you, Colin. There got to be some sort of reasoning. What is the reasoning? Because Ridley Scott was the one that did Napoleon, and then it was Joaquin Phoenix was the actor that was the lead actor in Napoleon. He played Napoleon. Why is that? Because the Zone of Interest or I think Anatomy of a Fall is a biopic about the the last concentration camp. And the Zone of Interest was some. I think it's either Zone of Interest or the Anatomy of a Fall. It's one of those two films, and they're both foreign films, which is I'm very surprised to ever hear since it hasn't because even Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon didn't make the cut for foreign film, being the best picture of the year when it came out in 2000. So it's surprising that two foreign films this year make the cut for best movie. They eke out Napoleon. But American Fiction looks really good too. I told my wife she'd have to watch it because I think that movie looks amazing and it's so up her alley. Because Jeffrey Wright is very much how my wife is. Like he doesn't like to be out. He's not very social, and it's he's very much like the way he is, and it's about like his family life and being an author and like having to subject himself to doing things he didn't want to do, but then he doesn't want to compromise himself for his art. It's actually a solid idea, but we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I've been you know we'll see, but I'm going to leave that for a discussion when I actually have Dave on the show and when I get Colin on the show because Colin and I and Dave want to do a whole thing about woke movies. We're going to try to get our boy from Nerd Affiliated on so we can talk, or the four of us can talk about woke films. So I'm going to leave you all with this. I had a great time today. Thank you guys for enjoying this time with me and spending this time with me. Great movie talk, Colin. Thank you for making the chat blow up. Rex, thank you for making the chat blow up. Make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe, not just to me, but if you haven't, check out Cobweb Collector. He is literally 4 subs away from like 1K. Help my brother out. All right. As always, my friends, stay geeky, y'all. Peace.